like you were going to do this, or like, oh, there was something else where she's like, no, like they were phasing you out. They were going to give you like 6 episodes. And Nene was like, what are you talking about? She's like, they were going to make you a friend of. And Nene was like, they were never going to make me a friend of. And but he's like, yeah, they like they were going to make you a friend of and still give you a lot of, like, she was trying to compliment her, but Nene was actually saying like, what you're saying is actually not true. And she didn't hear it. She was like, no. In the end, when they were going to give you 6 episodes at a friend, Nene was like, no, that's not true. And then eventually
was so condescending to her throughout the entire interview. With the first part where Nene explained how her mother was young when she had Nene and her aunt raised her. And then in the and so, you know, how traumatic that was, because when she got to middle school and high school, she really wanted her mother, her biological mother, even though her aunt did a very good job. Then in the next episode, Bethenny goes, oh, you know, when you wanted your real parents, you know, when you wanted your real, it's like everything was so backhanded to this woman who is here talking about how she's been discriminated against.
By the way,
the worst fucking human being. And I should have, my friend Jessica Kierson, the comedian who opened for Bethenny's talk show, who said she was the most vile person ever. It was so condescending. I mean, that's where it's like, where is her agent listening to this prior to it going out and going, sorry, no, this is like not an empowering platform for this woman. It's like Nene was like a wounded person who Bethenny saw blood and just like started. I have nothing. I don't want to be too negative because somebody tweeted us and was like, Sarah sound negative. And I love Nene. I mean, I'm serious. Like,
I'm gonna make an offer. Let me make an offer.
Come work with us. I'm like, Nene, I could make you a star. Like,
I'm gonna make an offer that I will do Atlanta recaps every day after the show with Nene Leakes. This is my formal offer.
Dude, you guys would make a fucking fortune. You are a genius behind the scenes that people don't even realize. And I thought the same thing. Nene, let me help you. You are a star. You are the next Wendy.
We're going to put it on Patreon only and we'll split everything, Nene.
Exactly.
And by the way, you don't have to do anything. I mean, I think I should get a little more because I'm going to have to fucking sit here and edit it and shit. But she can have half. Just show up, Nene, and we'll do a recap every day after Atlanta when it's on. It'll be I really enjoy her in these interviews.
Amazing.
I really enjoy her. I find her very authentic.
Me too. And
and listen, and by the way, Andy, I think Andy has a predilection towards I don't think anyone's his friend. I agree with you. Excuse me. Let me take that back.
Anderson Cooper's his best friend because Anderson's a Rockefeller.
And he has a second best friend. And her name is Sarah Jessica Parker because she's every gay man wants to like pass out in front of her. And his other friend is Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Those are his friends. His friends. Now, do I think he has a very, very close last summer? He went to Luann's Fose party. I mean, he doesn't go to these things because, you know, he was in the Hamptons. Do I think like he really, truly loves Ramona? He does. He fired her. He does. Does he love Luann? He fired her too. Sure, she's hired back. But I think there are certain New York City housewives, because New York is his home and he's lived in the same village apartment forever, the West Village, that he feels close. I think it's Ramona. I think it's Luann. And some little bit of Sonia. That's it. It's not the new girls, you know, maybe Jenna, because she's his age. He likes Jenna. Those are his so I do think he has a predilection towards a few New York women. And I think he really likes Teresa, but let's just boil because she's given her, but he didn't go to Teresa's wedding. We're right across the bridge. So like Andy, and when he goes to Luann's party, he's there for 3 minutes on the way to something else. So yeah, this is not your friend. So I'm sorry if like Nene or any of these people thought Andy was your friend. He will do just what he has to do for the show. As would I, as do I right here behind the velvet rope.
Well, I get what's so hurtful about Nene. Nene is like, look, this franchise was partly built on my back, you know, and she's correct. She's
right.
She is right. It's just that, you know, that it's hard in corporate. They don't care. You know what I mean?
Nobody cares.
I had to find that out too. Like, yeah, they're going to use you. They're going to like work you to the bone for whatever amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions in her case they make. And then they're going to dispose of you. And it's like that old saying that, you know, if you drop dead at work in 30 days, they're going to post a job description of your job and they're going to replace you. You know, I mean, that's what, and I feel for her. And I do think she has a case. I hope she gets something. She says Kim Zolciak didn't have to work when they had to work. Very good point. That to me seems like discrimination and racism. If Kim didn't have to show up like they had to show up, was paid the same amount, but held to a different standard, unless that was somewhere in Kim's contract, that seems like she's right. These Black women are going to go to work and this white woman isn't. That I thought was a valid point. It's so personal for Nene, and it's sad because she's such a talent. And I think she thinks that they should be treating her right. And they're just never
how corporate works. It's like, you just gotta, I'm not saying don't pursue it, legal when there's money, but you just have to somehow like move on. You're always used in corporate America. You're always used and you're always kicked out. Yeah, it was built on your back and now you are fired and they are not going to take you back and the show is going to go on. So like everyone crying how awful Atlanta was last season, it was awful. I will go double down and say it was awful the year before. Bringing Nene back to fix the franchise, it will never happen. So we have to think of another solution here of how to fix this broken franchise. It is what it is. It is what it is. And that's why it's just like, when we'll wrap up, you just got to let it go. And I mean, I feel the same for Bethenny. Like, you want to keep talking about this, like, everyone knows that Housewives is toxic and it's built on fighting and hating.
It's like nobody cares, Bethenny.
Right. And everything she's saying is true. Yes, everyone is fighting over who's holding the apple. Guess what? Shannon Doherty and Jenny Garth fought over a red dress. Then we have this show, Saved by the Bell, and go down any sitcom where people are working together who hate each other. Yes. Sean Hayes and Deborah Messing, and, they love each other, and Will and Grace. There's Friends, there's very few shows that actually everybody just loves each other, but that is Hollywood. So, okay, everyone's fighting over who's holding the apple and who gets to sit next to Boss Man at a reunion. Sure. And who's going to go after who on social media. Yes. It's a toxic environment. That's why you're paid hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't think this is like the cause. The cause is let's cure cancer. Can someone cure cancer here today? Does anyone have to donate money to cure it? Like, I don't understand. Like, this isn't like. I
mean, Bethenny has a reality reckoning and them getting paid for their images and memes and where they're distributed in countries, 100%. But Bethenny is the worst spokesperson ever. I mean, if she really wanted this, you turn it over to SAG-AFTRA, who've been doing it for nearly 100 years, if not 100 years since, not quite 1930s it started, who are the pros at unionizing, who have talked to these executives. But she's absolutely the worst. I'm done.
Girl, we gotta go. This was a superstar, like, long episode. Bye, honey love, everyone. It will help your breast look good. And listen to the Sarah Fraser Show. And we're gonna be back with a lot very soon.